Hello everyone, what's going on? I'm Gav, the Mastermind74, back again today doing another source short video, and today I've got a suggestion from Combinlon. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, but they've encountered an issue with the Mapbase code, and it's where they're trying to play the level D2 Coast 01, specifically the section where you get into the Jeep and the magnet comes down and the Jeep gets attracted to the magnet, and then the magnet fails, the Jeep drops, and it's that little scripted event in Half-Life 2. But when they've tried to play it in Mapbase, what's happened is it causes a game crash, and they don't know why, and at the time I didn't know why, but they elaborated a little bit on it, and I actually figured out what the issue is, and that's why I'm doing this video today. So, for some context, I'm in the Mapbase code on GitHub, and if you look into the Jeep code, then you can see that the prop vehicle Jeep entity is overridden for the episodic Jeep, specifically the episode 2 vehicle. But then they also have a shortcut to the old Jeep, which is called prop vehicle Jeep old. So to understand what's going on, you want to go to physobj.cpp, short for physics object. And if you go down to the cphys magnet : vphysics collision function, then we can see down here that a player by the name of Eric was able to cause some issues when they stacked stuff on top of their Jeeps in Coast 01, and they basically get themselves stuck because the crane and the magnet can't pick up the Jeep. So what they do is they remove the objects. So in this case, it checks to see if the phys magnet entity has a spawn flag, and then if the class name of p_other, which is defined up here as just like a entity check, but if that entity check is not the same as prop vehicle Jeep, then it interprets it as an entity to be removed. So you can kind of go down here and see that's what happens. Now, if you're playing Half-Life 2, you're playing Mapbase, and you're using prop vehicle Jeep old to use the Half-Life 2 Jeep, then that's going to be interpreted as an entity to be removed, as if it is blocking the Jeep when it's the actual Jeep. So that's the issue that Combinlon is experiencing, that this check is getting triggered when it shouldn't. So what I've decided to do is do it this way. So inside of the physobj.cpp file, you can go to this spawn flag check, and what I've decided to do is just mix it up a little bit. So what I've decided to do is make it so it checks to see if p_other is a prop vehicle Jeep, or it checks to see if p_other is prop vehicle Jeep old, and then just don't do anything. So you just create an if statement, but nothing actually happens. It's the else statement which actually does all the entity removal stuff. So we only check to see if the class name is of the Jeep or the old version of the Jeep, and if this spawn flag is set, then those are entities that should not be removed, and so you should not end up with these crashes. So my code here is a little bit screwed up, so I'm just going to have to go into the debugger and use an old version of the Mapbase code that I compiled, which means I just need to temporarily get rid of the game. And because it's using the episodic code, I need to just change some settings real quick. So if you just give me one moment, I'll boot into D2 Coast 01. Oh, I don't even have it on here. Okay, I need to get the maps as well. Yeah, I'll be back. Alright everyone, so I'm in game, and I'm just going to be testing this little sequence out. So one of the things that you might see is if you enter the Jeep, then if we was just to take a look at the developer console for a second, you can see that we're in a prop vehicle Jeep, and in the episodic code it tells you that it's a C prop Jeep episodic. So all we gotta do is wait for the magnet to come down and hit us, and the sequence is playing out as intended. Now, I've got another version of D2 Coast 01. It's supposed to be a test map where I experiment around with a sort of fake cascaded shadow mapping effect, which I don't think the map compiled properly, so yeah, it's not going to be looking too good. But I did change the Jeep to be a prop vehicle Jeep old, which we can realise when we enter the Jeep, it's called a just C_prop Jeep, so it is not the episodic Jeep. And when the magnet comes down and hits us, then the sequence plays out in the same way. Now, from footage that you would have seen at the start of the video, this would not have happened, the game would have crashed. So this is how you can resolve this issue, especially in the episodic code where there's two versions of the Jeep or the vehicle to be used, and one of them ends up getting removed because of the way the code is constructed. And ouch, I just took 25 damage there for that. So that's the video, everyone. I hope you found it helpful. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Hopefully you found this helpful, and as always, take care out there, peace out, see you later, and have a great day.